Welcome to another episode of Pels and the Blenders. Your boy Davis coming to y'all after this Pelicans beat down on what is today? Saturday night. Pels moved to 3-21, getting absolutely smoked by the Nets, who go to 6-17. Man, again, this is why in the episode yesterday when I was like, this is a game they should win. You can't ever count this team for a win, man. The games that you think they should win and will win, they don't. And not only do they not win those games, they get smoked in those games, right? We remember like some of early in the season, man. Early in the season, they were losing by 30 and damn near 40 and whatnot. And this wasn't necessarily as bad as those, but this one was pretty bad based on like the level of competition and stuff like that they were going up against. But at the same time, like we're not like that much more talented than the Nets team. And this is why I said I had the questions about Borrego and stuff like that, because and again, it's not all his fault, right? It's not all his fault, but no, like we was talking about the offense and stuff like that, but early in the game, bro, and I know Antonio Daniels get tired of saying this. What is up with the switching? They just playing themselves into mismatches, and you're a smaller team. Like they just taking advantage of it. They just taking advantage of it throughout the game. Derek Queen didn't have necessarily his greatest game or like had one of his best games, but again, in the early stretches of the game, like he played the first stretch and then sat an extended minutes until like the end of damn near the end of the second quarter. And I just think like the momentum and stuff was lost, man. I just don't fully understand what it is that we trying to do. Whoa, was good, bro. Appreciate you tapping in. I'm not gonna keep y'all. Jose, bro, we've been talking about it, man. Jose brings energy, right? He makes some plays and stuff like that. But Jose played 30 minutes. Jose played 30 minutes on the floor, and he just again realistically he does some things. He gets some steals, he makes some plays, but 30 minutes of Jose Alvarado on the floor is just gonna be tough. Anytime they switch, they got an advantage, and then you constantly switching, unnecessarily switching. It's really annoying to watch. Like I'm sitting there watching the game and just Antonio Daniels just like, bro, you switch, we not communicating, we not getting back to the man. Like they were playing soft. They was getting like it felt like they were just getting dominated on the boards as well. What was the rebound? And we lost the rebound in 36-45. It looked like it. They just were bigger, stronger, faster. And then like when you come into a game, you have to know. And this is the one thing that like is like I guess is kind of letting me know let me know where we are sometimes. Like we don't and I don't know if it's like a player thing. We don't have uh like we're not schematically taking people out of games, right? Like for the most part in the first, like great players are gonna be great. Don't get me wrong. Like we was doing what we could to deny Anthony Edwards, and in the second half he went crazy, ended up with 44, and then in the next night he played well. But again, that's Ant. Don't get me wrong, bro. Michael Porter Jr. got up 23 shots, right? Coming into that game, you gotta know, like, say, bro, they everything is going through MPJ. He played 35 minutes, was super. If he shot 50, essentially shot 50% from the field. Busting ass. Busting ass. They switching the screens. He pulling off the screen. We ain't doing nothing about it. They ain't making no adjustments. He just and then I don't know how many of them you gotta hit before. That's the one thing that makes me upset. How many do a guy gotta hit before you just be like, all right, we can't keep doing what it is we doing? Every team makes a run with Jose in the game. Like we again, and it ain't even all Jose's fault, but again, it's some of the lineups that's in at the time. Like I think it was the second quarter, bro. We was running the lineup. It was like Jose. It was no Trey. I think it was no Trey, no Fizz, no Queen. It was Eves, Carlo, Bryce, and who was the other? Maybe Sadiq. Maybe Sadiq Bey, like, bro, that's not enough creation. Like, that's, and Peavy, it wasn't even Sadiq Bey, it was Peavy on the floor. So think about that. Peavy, Bryce, Jose, Carlo, and Missy. Like, we don't have no offense. Like, you can't create nothing. There's no mismatches. You had a defensive disadvantage. Like, and that's why I'm just like, dog, what are we doing? What are we trying to see? What's good, bro? Man, what happened tonight? No energy at all. Shout out to 5 said them boys might have hit the streets. The boys might have hit the streets. We need a fresh start with a new coaching staff. Again, just did the episode yesterday about some of the things that concern me and why, like, I don't want to like pin it all on James Borrego, but it's just kind of like, dog, yes, I understood the offensive numbers, like, just through pace. And like, again, just because we're better than Willie don't necessarily mean we're good, right? Like, the record is what it is. Like, I think James now is like 1 in 11. You know what I mean? And again, you are building towards something. You don't have a lot of players, but at the same time, bro, you just had 2 tough games against Minnesota. You had Minnesota beat, and again, every game is its own game. I get that. Every game is its own game. Every matchup is a different matchup. But you play Minnesota 2 times really, really tough. You play Denver tough. You play all these teams tough, and then you come out and you get smoked by the Nets. You get smoked by the Nets. Come on, man. Is it time to start all over with Jeremiah Fitz, DQ, and Bill? Yes. Yes. That don't necessarily mean you get rid of everybody, but like, the overreaction says get rid of everybody, because this is the problem. Also, we need players that play. Big money players are out. Absolutely. Again, that's the big issue, dog. Like, you got over $100 million not playing. You got $100 million not playing, and that's what you look like. You're gonna look. I don't know if you should. And again, you know what? I don't really, because for a second I was about to kind of fall for that, right? And it does matter in the grand scheme of things. But we see teams all the time, bro, when they players go out and they go through like serious injuries. Like Memphis do it all the time, bro. Like they star players will be out, and then somehow they just right the ship, right? Last year when Orlando, Paolo and Franz was out for a while, like they struggled a little bit, but at the same time they were kind of like at least still fighting for, like, still battling, winning some games. The Pelicans are like, dog, what are we on, another team? Like, I think the one, I don't even know how long the losing streak is at this point now, but like, if you 3-21, like, you gotta assume that everything is like, I don't want to say for sale necessarily, but other than Fizz and Queen, Peavy has his bright spots, you know what I mean? But like, that's a developmental player to a degree. You gotta consider almost anything. You got to. So I don't know. What do you think Zion trade value is? Bro, listen, who knows? Because the problem is that when players aren't playing, right? That don't help your value at all. And then you could get I'll just put it to you this way. This is how I feel about it. I'm not just giving Zion away. I'm not doing that necessarily. But if I could get one of the players that we talked about, like one of the players on the list that I liked, the report came out, who knows how true it is. Evan Sindri on XB posting all kind of stuff. I don't know how accurate, or it'd be reposted or whatnot, who knows. But if the Bulls are interested at all, though, if I could get Matas Bucelas, I think that's how you pronounce his name. If I could get Matas, I'm doing it. If I could get Khalil Ware, I'm doing it. If I could get Ace, I'm doing it. Like, certain players, if I could get them, I'm pulling the trigger on. Like, you want who? Okay, bet. Like, and it might be a bad deal, but sometimes you just need, we at the fresh start. We at the fresh start moment, man. Like, that's kind of where we are. Like, this team showed up. And they need to be like, I said this before about this team before, bro. Like, they think they're better than they are, right? They think they're better than they are. And like, it's not to say that they don't have talented players and stuff like that, but like we probably looked at the Nets, like the players probably looked at the Nets and were like, oh shit, we got the Nets, that's a dub. Dub, we don't have no credibility and no clout to look at nobody and be like it's a dub. Like if anything, the Nets probably looking at us like, oh shit, we got the Pelicans coming to town, we can't lose that game. Like that should be belt. That's how teams look at the Pelicans, right? Like we can't lose to this team. So for the Pelicans to have in their minds, like, man, look, we this should be an easy win for us. Like, or for them, dog, you gotta value and fight and scrap for everything. So, like, for them to not play with effort, it's just really, really discouraging to a degree. The Nets also have a long wingspan team, which the Pelicans probably struggle. Yeah. But that same team was just 5-17. They're not good either. Right? Like they 5-17. They struggling. They dying to get wins. They playing rookies all throughout the lineup. You know what I mean? They playing young. I mean, they got some pieces. You got Terrence Mann playing, but they got Igor playing heavy minutes. Danny Wolf playing minutes. Like they got a bunch. No, they got a bunch of young people playing and stuff like that too. Like that's a game that you can't get smoked in. It's one thing to lose, but like, dog, you down 20 in a blink. And that's when I'm looking at, bro, Queen took 5 shots. Played 26 minutes, took 5 shots. And then we talked about this yesterday. If you tapped into the show, I'm like, I don't know what it is about when Eves is available. When Eves is available, Borrego and the way that Queen is utilized is just not the same. And it's not necessarily that like they're running different offenses or something like that, but like just when Eves is available, like he takes Queen off the court longer, right? It's not, I don't know, man. Just the emphasis on the team is different. Queen plays a little different. I have no clue, dog. What's up with the Poole injury? I would assume because he got cleared, you'll probably see them back. They got a nice little stretch coming up where they get some breaks. And they don't have many games. So you'll probably see Poole back. Like, let's see, they played today. They don't play again till they got a day off. Then they play Monday, and then they don't play another game until Thursday, right? So if we don't see Poole Monday, I can't imagine you won't see him play Thursday against the Blazers, especially like most of them games, like the Spurs on Monday is at home, and then you got the Blazers with like 3 days off at home again. So I'd imagine you see him back, and then they got another like 3 or 4 days off, and then they go to Chicago. So like I think we see Jordan Poole back within the next 2 to 3 games, something like that. But as far as like the injury itself goes, it's like, dog, this man, when he initially got hurt, it was like 7 to 10 days. 7 to 10 days. And then, you know, we ain't seen him for almost a month, which is typical Pella stuff. So if I'm Joe Dumars, I think Joe Dumars came into the season, was willing to trade the pick because I think he believed in the talent. I'll be honest. I think he believed in the talent, right? But this team not good. The coaching staff wasn't good. The players, like they're not performing for us like their money says they should and like what their track record says they should. With that being the case, you know, sometimes you gotta clean house with everything. Let's see. Where you trade her? Would I trade her for Kuminga and some picks if we do? Yes. Absolutely. Like, why not? Like at this point, it's more so like, why not? We don't really have nothing to lose, I guess. Only reason I won't trade Herb for Kuminga is if somebody like if I could send Herb somewhere else and get like another young potential player or something like that, then I do that. But other than that, no. Like Herb for Kuminga worked fine for me. What's good? Z was good, bro. Z hurt again. That's why I was getting at with Z the way I was during the live stream. Yeah, you got to step back, be objective. How you view the team has been said. So listen, I understand that part of it, right? And like everybody comes to a certain point of like frustration, I guess, with Z. But for me, it wasn't specifically the injuries that had me being like, all right, it's time to move on. The reason I'm like, you got to move on more so than the injuries is because the team is just not good, like at all. And that more than anything is an issue. It's like, it's different if they were competitive, right? And then it's kind of like, dog, imagine if you had, right? And then you could be frustrated for that reason, but at least the team is like fighting and battling, and you could just kind of envision what they would look like. It's different. But when he not here and you not good, like 3-21 not good, then like in this 2 years in a row, you not being good. And they're not good when he play. So that's the thing about Z now. Like Z typically when he plays got that impact to where it's kind of like, all right, when he plays, you probably gonna win, 50 to 60% of the games that he play. Dog, you on losing streaks with him. So if you losing with him, like what's the point of having him? So that's kind of where I'm at with Z. Do you think we could get Jalen Durant? No, I don't think we can. But if you could, I'd try. Jalen Durant going in, they not trading him during the season. You going into the off season, I think he's gonna be a restricted free agent. I mean, you could probably figure out a way to free up money to offer it to him. I would if I could. Whoa, what's good, Just? Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you. But if I could get Jalen Durant, I would. Again, man, my main targets, bro. My main targets are players like, if you could get Durant, great. But I don't even want Durant because Durant about to be a max. Like, he's young, though. He's 22, so it's okay. But he's about to be a full max player, right? Our timeline don't match up with max players. So we need like Khalil Ware, like a second year guy, got a couple years that he could develop and stuff like that. You ain't got no real money on the books, right? He's young, kind of fit that Jeremiah Fizz, Derek Queen timeline in their age range. Khalil Ware, Ace, like young players like that, man, that's not on the money. Matas from Chicago. Shit, if I could get Noah, I'd take a chance with that. Would I trade for Isaiah Stewart? Again, I think Stu, another one on like got some money attached to it. I'm not bringing it. Well, I don't want to. Let me take that back. I won't say I'm not bringing in no money. But if I'm only bringing it in, like if I'm getting like picks attached to it, right? So you could take on bad contracts and stuff like that, but you just gotta find the players that you really want, and those that are like you gotta acquire talent, man. I don't know how Troy found him in the draft. Troy got the eye for the draft, bro. Troy got the eye for players. It's like his track record speaks for itself about the players he done found over time. Like Russell, like he found Russell Westbrook, Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Durant, like he did Queen Fizz, like his eye for talent is there. Like there's no question. Can he put together a team? That part is a little different. So like again, we need a coach that is on the same timeline with whatever Joe wants to go in. We need knows how to use the players we have for the future. And that is where I'm really, that's kind of what my focus is, right? More so than what we doing with Zion, to be honest, because I don't think we're in the time right now, like being in it's December, January. I don't really think like no trades or nothing like that is really happening right now. And he's out hurt anyway. So I'm not really focused on that. Borrego is what I'm focused on because like, can he be the coach that we need moving forward? And to me, I just like while he's instilling some good principles and like and again, man, a lot of the stuff that they're doing is just, to me, is just basic stuff. Like you should have been playing with pace. You should have been focused on timeouts. You should have been focused on like minor details. So like I only could give so much credit for doing the basics, right? Like these are basic things that the team should have like the details that they should have been like that should have been instilled into this team. So now that they have young players, yes, I think they need to do that, but it's kind of like, dog, I just don't know. I just don't know. And that's why I said yesterday, like I'm willing to give him some more time, but like as just today, bro, ease back today, and then again, you like Queen getting 5 shots, and part of that is Queen and the matchups and stuff, but they just continued to switch all game, and it was just killing you all game, no adjustment. I hate games where it's just like no adjustments to what, like no awareness to what the team is doing. If a team is constantly doing something, you ain't gonna try nothing different. And then again, I had the question about the lineups, bro. Like you cannot, if you're trying to win every game, if you're trying to win every game, even while you instilling some of the things like your principles and all of that, like okay, I get it, but like you still can't throw out some of the non-offensive rosters that you be lineups. I'm not keep saying rosters. Some of the non-offensive lineups you be throwing out there, like it's too detrimental to the team. Like we just can't do it. To be honest, this team has no standards, full of losers except for those rookies. Sorry, they're happy losers. You see them smiling on the bench. That shit make me mad, bro. That make me mad. If like every game you should be like, what is you've gotten accustomed to losing. You've gotten accustomed to losing. And that's another reason why I'm like, you got to get these people out of here. Like, dog, I want my coach mad when we losing. I want my players mad. I want the medical staff mad. And again, I understand you can't like overreact to like every loss. Like, I get it. But at the same time, like, dog, losing, like it should never be fun. It should never be okay. You shouldn't just be dapping people off when they beating the brakes off you. You losing by 20. It's like, no, don't talk to me. You know what I mean? I'm not having a good day. It's not fun. And that's the thing. When you like losers find ways to lose, winners find ways to win. So when you start a season off and like you just start losing games, you find ways to lose games. Right? Like is and it'll be a different, sometimes it'll be a different way every time. It'll be a different way every time. So like right now, what Borrego is doing, to be honest, is just making the losses more appealing. Right? You throwing out the nicer looking offense, but it ain't like, again, I understand that the results sometimes come. Sometimes you got to put in a lot of work before like it just bears results. I get that. But I just feel like while we have somewhat of a process, I still don't see like what the goal is, like as far as like who are we playing through? What are we trying to establish other than we want to play fast, get paint touches, and move the ball? Like we still have to form more of an identity. Like you need more of an identity. Like players need to know exactly where shots come from these three levels of an NBA team: players, coaching, and ownership. What is a consistent pattern you've seen when watching this team? Drafted players lack consistent improvement. Absolutely. Nobody gets better when they get here. Nobody gets better when they get here. There is no real development. Like players don't really get, and I won't lie, I have kind of concerns about like, because we see the promise in Fizz, right? We see the promise in Queen, but if the history of the Pelicans organization kind of is what it is, like Anthony Davis improved, right? Lonzo fixed his shot. So like we've had very small cases of people like continuing to grow and get better or get significantly better. So like hopefully Fears next year, because he got a player like Mike Miller as his agent in his corner, right? Who's gonna, and Fears works hard, but like it's gonna keep him on the right track. Like hopefully they put them in position to be able to like to focus in on them and then continue to improve, because a lot of that is situational, right? Like if they don't decide, hey, like we're running it through Fears and Queen, right? And you just kind of do it. That's not helping them. They're not developing that way. You need to, at some point, you need to just really lean into, all right, dog, look, we playing through Queen. Or we playing through Queen and Fizz. Everything is coming off of that. When Mark Jackson changed the culture in Golden State, bro, if you weren't passing the ball to Steph, or you wasn't understanding who was the man on that team, you wasn't playing. And that's what it need to be. To be honest, man, that man doesn't have any talent to win with. If you was the coach with that lineup, if I was the coach with lineup, would I use? Dog, my players would be playing like 30, 35 to 38 minutes is what is what my teams would look like. Queen wouldn't be, dog, listen, bro, I'd be playing like eight to nine players. I'm just being honest. I'd be playing Trey, Queen, Sadiq, Fizz. I don't mind the starting lineup necessarily, but we've been talked about this team needs to go with two bigs, right? I don't know if you could play in transition the way that they would like to if you did that, but they don't have the talent right on the floor right now to play some of the styles that they want to play. So you have to play to the benefit of your team. Like, you got to play through Queen. Queen played 26 minutes. I ain't almost lie. I don't care if he's playing bad. Jeremiah Fizz was 4-16 tonight. I don't care. We playing through them. And we gonna live with it. Carlo having 11 minutes. Like, Carlo's just one of your more athletic players. He just gotta be on the floor more. Like, he just gotta be on the floor. I'm playing Carlo. You almost gotta play Jose. You gotta play Eves. Hawk probably don't touch the floor. I'll be honest. Peavy might not touch the floor. So that'd probably be my 8. If we had a draft pick, I would give him time. But we did not have a draft pick this year. What do you have time to wait for? We've been waiting for a while. You talking about Z? Who you talking about as far as like the time go? Is Joe sabotaging the franchise? Nah, I don't think so. He can't really helm off. Nah, I don't think it's one of those situations of sabotaging. I think they came into the season with. Listen, bro, if you came into the season and you look at the roster and then the players they brought in, there's no way you would have thought that them dudes was gonna be 3-21. Right? Like, if you start listing the roster, Z Pool, Trey Herb, who's supposed to be the starter? Z Pool, Trey Herb, Missy. Right? And then off your bench, you're talking about Fizz, Sadiq Bey. You still got Looney. You had Carlo. Like, DeJounte at some point supposed to come back. Like, they were not, even if you watch the first 2 games, they were not this bad. I think Willie Green destroyed the morale early. And then when he benched JP, that kind of put the nail in the coffin, in my opinion. Put the nail in the coffin when he benched JP. And then they had that stretch where in the first 2 games, Queen showed you how valuable he was. And then when Looney came back, remember, Queen just wasn't playing at all. So, like, I just think the team just threw their hands up. Then Z get hurt, right? Herb struggled, and just his game just hasn't really been the same this season. It's just, it's just a domino effect. And then once you start losing, it's just, you know what I mean? It's just kind of the way it falls. So I don't think Joe came into the season thinking it would be this bad, but that's also why he was like, I'm not going to put no win total on this season. I'm going to just say we're going to be competitive and we're going to see. I don't believe Poole is still injured. I believe the Pelicans are sitting in for whatever reason. They give no info on like they're hiding something. That's how I feel. Bro, when the injury first came out, they said it was 7 to 10 days, and this man been out almost a month. That's some Pelican stuff for you. Steph had the exact same injury as Poole, and he's scheduled to come back in a few more games, way less than Poole. Dog, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but you never know what's going on with this team. And that's part of the issue, right? So it's just kind of like, you just at some point you get frustrated, which is why I think everybody's at the point where it's like, okay, fresh start, though. You started having some momentum. You start seeing some things come together, and then they come out and give the effort they give on games like today, and then it's just kind of like, that ain't got nothing. Like, you get frustrated with Z not being available, but then you start like watching the game, And as you watching the game, you're like, dog, Antonio, are we not listening to the broadcast? Antonio Daniels has been saying for seasons, why do we switch the way that we switch? Right? Like at some point, like you gotta try something different, and they just don't. Okay, you're talking about JB with the giving him time. Yeah, dog, I don't know. And look, as far as the draft pick go, hold on, because that's a young, inexperienced new starting five with no real PG, no solid big. Keep it real. ESPN had a 20 to 30 wins for real. Dog, listen. So if you go with the starting lineup that they supposedly had, like when the season started, if you get 60 games, right? 50 to 60 games, like Poole had never been injured like this. Never been. Sadiq Bey, other than like he missed the season, but for the most part, he be around. Eves was coming back. Trey, typically be good. Like Herb had never really been hurt. So like if they're available, they should not be a 30-win team, especially when you add 2 lottery picks to what it is they already had, and at some point DeJounte possibly getting back. But every possible thing that could have went wrong from the injury standpoint, from the coaching standpoint, from them just delaying everything, like they dug themselves this hole. And then again, once you start losing, you got to change a lot to like get that losing out the way. Dog, remember, like a lot of people talk about how good Detroit like turned it around and all of that. Detroit was just as bad. They had to get JB Bickerstaff in there. They had to get what's his name, man? Trajan went in there, Bickerstaff went in there, K became a star. Boom, things turn around. Right? But also they made a bunch of roster moves too. Remember, they brought in Tim Hardaway Jr., they brought in Tobias Harris, they made Malik Beasley, they made roster moves. They identified what it is they wanted to do, and everything was towards that. Like, that's what this team got to do. Do I trust them to do it? Hell no. Giving up the first round picks were awful. Absolutely were awful. This is the thing about the first round pick though, because while yes, the move was awful, the only good thing I don't want to say good because there's nothing good about giving up the pick. But if they had the pick, I think people would just be skating over like what the season looked like. Right? You'll be like, shit. Because if you have the pick, you probably be looking at the roster different. Like, all right, if we keep most of this and then just add a lottery pick, right? Now we might be working with something. As opposed to, because we don't have the pick, you looking at the roster like, these dudes really not good. And I don't want to say that they're not talented, but they just not good here. They're not performing. Like, they just not. So to me, that's the benefit / beauty of the pick being gone, is that you looking at, you see the roster for what it is. There is no real help coming in the form of the draft, right? Like, these are your players. Like, what are we gonna do? That's excuses. The star players don't want to play. The role players play harder than the star players all the time. So that's kind of why, that's how Jose played 30 minutes a game. Because for Jose's limitations, bro, he diving on the floor. He play hard. He do what he can. But that's just it. They too secretive. I mean, a lot of franchises are secretive, and you have to be to a degree. But I just think they need to do, bro. You need a new medical staff. Everybody need to go. To be honest. And like, as much as and again, I literally just said yesterday that like I kind of want to give James Borrego a little bit of time to see how it looks. But bruh, again, if the opportunity came for like, just say somehow Tom Thibodeau, they reached out, like let's say they decided after these 10 games, like, all right, look, we see some improvement, but nah, this ain't it. And they started making the calls like, hey, look, Tom Thibodeau gonna be, like Tom reached out and was like, hey, I'm interested in this job. Say, dog, you gotta go get the next guy. Even if it's this season. If you're not keeping Borrego and you got an opportunity to get your guy starting early, you go do it. So I'm just interested in that. The dysfunction of our franchise painful. Yeah, bro. McGowan's is a positive. McGowan's is bruh, that's one of the bright spots, to be honest, right now. He's making the most of his opportunity. And it's not to say that he's just playing like overly fantastic. What he had 24 minutes, 16 points, 5 for 8, solid, just real solid. Like, you might have found you a piece, great, but that don't mean we still not going out there and trying to find somebody to fill these voids. You know what I mean? Like, let's see what he got in extended minutes. I see him. I see what he's doing as a starter. So shout out to Bryce McGowns, man. Shout out to Bryce. Something that's really wrong with the team. Losers find ways to lose. Losers find ways to lose. It's just that simple. Trey got to go with Zion. Though I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, to be honest. Like, I'm not mad at Trey getting moved, especially if you could get back, what you want from Trey. So, like, the thing that I'm noticing about Trey, is not that Trey is not a quality player, because he is, right? Trey is a really good player. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, you're a fourth best player. Like if we going again, and we had this conversation yesterday, if like, is Spears, Queen, another person, and then Trey, then cool. But like, Trey is like the main offensive engine right now, or like the main scorer and stuff like that, because Queen and Fizz, while they can score and create and do some things, like, essentially Trey is the best scorer on the team, or at least the best scorer while Zion is out, like, or while Poole is out. You know what I mean? Like, if Poole came back, I think Trey will look different with how much Poole impacts the game. So it's just gonna be interesting to see, like, once he gets back, how Trey looks. So again, you could keep Trey because Trey is on a good contract and stuff like that. But if somebody offers you the bag for Trey, you're not winning with him anyway. You're not winning with him. I understand if we had to pick, the losing wouldn't hurt as much. But sometimes you got to put yourself in a desperate situation to see what's real. What week we start making moves? Probably sometime mid-January. Mid-January, something like that. I think you don't see nothing really happen until January. A lot of the people that sign, like, the contracts got to clear, get to certain dates and stuff like that. So then you'll probably see, definitely before the trade deadline, you might see, now again, you might not see everybody get moved. You might not see the Zion move. But I do think they do something. Is it crazy that they say they are hurt, but they are jumping and playing around the way? I be thinking that sometimes too. It's like, when you just watching them having a great, they pointing on the sideline and doing all this shit, and it's just like, no, I don't want to see nobody happy. If I'm miserable, you need to be miserable too. But they probably about to go hit the streets in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Probably look a night out in New York. We on vacation. You know what I mean? Yeah, we lost, but so what? Gotta live life. We ain't out here often during the season. Just that shit whack, though. Pels need a new voice. Yeah, I think you need an asshole coach, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I think you need a mean coach. Like, and they're not gonna like it, but like, I think you need a mean coach to come and establish the coach. Like, somebody shout, like they say, Taylor Jenkins was kind of like an asshole. You know what I mean? Talk to you any kind of way. I think them dudes need a little bit of that. Still have the skill. You know what I mean? Still got to be quality from the X's and O's and strategy standpoint and all of that. But you got to get these nice people out the building, bro. Anybody who nice, so like, we don't want none of that. Give me Ime, right? Ime. Anybody from Ime's line, like a dude that might beat you up if you laughing on the sideline or you like losing, right? Give me Chris Paul. Bring the assholes in. Pause. That's crazy. Excuse me. Forgive me for that one. But that's what I think the team needs. How long you think it would take before Jeremiah Fears and DQ to be all-star players for the future and us down the road? Man, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even want to think that far down the line. But like realistically, you talking about 3 years, maybe 4 years, something like that. That's typically unless you just amazing and you look like Wemby, right? Especially in the West, it's gonna be hard to make an all-star game in the West. Uh, so you probably 4 years down the line, something like that. Trey's not having an impact at all on other points. And that's the problem with Trey right there. Trey, while he scores, right, he don't really defend. Like he's not impactful defensively. Like even if you're not stopping your man, you don't get steals, you don't get blocks, you're not like overly disruptive to where they just like, look, we can't pass it that way. It's like, he caused a confusion for the offense. You don't move your man off the spot, like none of that stuff. So that's part of the reason. And then the facilitating is not even there. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Trey's a really good player, but he's not a crazy. Like, give me a damn. And that's why I think Trey would be better as like your fourth guy. Because I know Ace got that give me the rock. Right? Like you need the guy. That's why I say the two things I'm searching for more than anything, because I think you got a hub with Queen. Right? I think you got a hub with Queen, but Queen can't be your best player. Like if you're trying to win, Queen can't be your best player. Even if Queen projects out, like I don't think he's ever going to be Joker, right? So like a lot of people put like he looks a little bit like DeMarcus Cousins and stuff like that. And while DeMarcus at one point was one of the best centers in the game, like they didn't win, right? They didn't go to the playoffs. They didn't do nothing. Sabonis is a really good player. Didn't do much. So like even if Queen is a really high level player, like you still have to have the other stuff around him so the team can like be effective. But I think you got the right pieces with Fears at the guard. Fears looks like a NBA type guard for today. Queen looks like a player that can play today. You gotta get your check, dog. I'm telling you, Khalil Well looks like the type of dude, because when you gotta play OKC, right, and Wemby and the players that's gonna be like Sengun, those kind of players, dog, you need the 7-foot stretch that can handle defend the rim that's gonna cause issues. Cause like that's why I'm like, dog, if I could get Khalil Ware now and then just spend my time trying to find my Ant Edwards, you know what I mean? That's the things you need. And then you got 4 players, right? And even if you decide to keep Trey at some point, right? If you keep Trey, then it's like, all right, yeah, boom. Trey is my 4th best player with that kind of lineup. Like you be all right. You be all right. Think it would be 3-4 years. Yeah, that's not about right. Trey Soft, hey, though. Hey, bro, you gotta stand. You gotta do that on your own. So like, I went back now and was like kind of thinking about some of the times when Willie Green was like, "Nah, you got to get yourself open." I think that's what he means. I think that's what he was meaning. Like, dog, we could draw up whatever for you, but at some point, dog, you got to go out there and you got to hoop. At some point, you got to hoop. You can't let people bully you. You got to go make your own impact, defensively, offensively. Like, go take over the games. And right now, he's supposed to be the best player, and just again, and it's not to say that Trey's not a good player, but I think this particular season and the way that it's shaking out just let you know like what this team really needs. And at some point when you 3-21, like it almost don't matter if you healthy, right? Like if the whole team is not going to be healthy for an extended period of time, how many games they got left? They got like 60 something games left, 60 games left, something like that. If you're not going to get the whole team healthy for the rest of the stretch, then what we doing? It don't matter. With B.I. and Zion gone, this was Trey's opportunity to show out. Trey had his opportunity to show out last season, and he played well. He had the expectation, like coming into this season, everybody was like, "Oh, this might take the leap." But I think what Trey found out and what people are figuring out is that it's everybody working hard, dog. Like it's much harder to take that leap than you think. Like Jalen Johnson over there in Atlanta taking the leap. right? You see how this dude look like he out here getting triple doubles, looking like a physical specimen out there. Like they drafted him at 20. Crazy, right? So Trey has to do more if he wants to be and look like what he wants to look like. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know. There really has never been Poole to sit out. He averages 70 again. Why is he missing out? No, bruh. No clue. No clue. I think I'm more interested to when he sit out, like what happens when he comes back, right? Because I think he'll be back next week. If he's back next week, is he back for the rest of the season? Like, is he back and not missing no more time? Or is he back and obviously if something like crazy happened and he get hurt, you know what I mean? That's different. But like is he back and then like okay, like good for the rest of the way? And this just was some bullshit that kind of took place that kind of like derailed the season a little bit. So that'll be interesting. I think the Pelicans are evaluating talent this year. Who's talent? Who's talent? Because the talent we've been having for a while, right? Like, you know what, like you know what you got from her. You know what Zion is. Like, so if you evaluate that, like Queen and Fizz, then honestly, they've already done enough to show you like where they are or what they could be. You know, they're developing players and stuff like that. So like Queen and Fizz, you kind of already know, okay, we did all right in the draft so far. These guys got potential. As far as like the rest of the players, is like, okay, we know Trey's got talent, but I don't think Trey can be the guy, right? Like if we move on from Z and try to make Trey the face, like what's our ceiling with Trey, right? 3-21. 3-21 if Trey is your best player on the team. So you kind of gotta see like Herb, like Sadiq Bey is outplaying Herb, right? And you didn't think that when you came into the season. It makes players like DeJounte Murray, and while DeJounte, a lot of people, you know, were kind of just like out on DeJounte, but like DeJounte looks like he has way more value than what originally thought when you came into the season. Think Fields and Queen will be in the rising stars this year? Absolutely, bro. Them dudes top 5, top 10 in the rookie ladder. They absolutely gonna be in the rising stars. How do we re-sign a number 4 for big money? Oh, you talking about Trey? If you're talking about Trey, like I think so when they sign those rookie deals, that's like big money, but it ain't like Z got max money, right? Z got number 1 max 250 kind of money. Trey ain't get that kind of money. Like Trey got you a good player money. Like so, and he got about what he paid for what he is. Like Trey still average 20. He got paid like a player that averaged 20. That's like Trey money ain't necessarily the problem. It's just if I sign Trey to be like you can't have Trey as your best player. I don't think so. I think that's been proven so far at least. And I believe in Trey as a player. I think Trey's a really good player, can help a team. It's not to say that he won't ever make an all-star or nothing like that, but I think it's gonna take a lot more work than what he thought it would. I think the Pelicans evaluating talent on the team because Willie never played younger players. I believe Joe given the opportunity to prove their work. I think Joe letting everybody just do whatever they want to do to show who you are. Right? Like I think Joe used this season, to be honest, to sit back and just, for example, I think he probably told Willie, whatever you want to do, run it however you want to run it. Like, because they said he was talking to Joe all throughout the off season and whatnot. They was, you know, talking about coaching tips and whatnot. I can't imagine that Joe, if we were talking about coaching tips, would have told him bench Poole game 3 or game 4, like, and not to play Derek Queen. So, like, I think he just letting everybody do whatever they're gonna do and let them hang themselves. Like that, like he came out in the press conference and told James Borrego, I don't got nothing for you. You play who you want, you use your roster how you want, you play whatever it is you want to do. Why do you do that? So when the time comes for you to make a decision, you can't say that I held you back by any means. right? And that's same thing go for the players. He's giving Bryce McGowan, I think Bryce McGowan fits the way Borrego wants to play, and he's playing well. So when the time comes to decide, it's like, why would I keep Herb for X amount if I could get Sadiq Bey for half of that, or I get Bryce McGowan's doing what he does and then some, or Michael Peavy and then some. So it's kind of like, yeah, you become expendable. Part of the issue with players is the fact that most of them know they trade bait. Yeah, but when you know you trade bait, dog, sometimes you play better, right? So you can make sure somebody come get you. You play better, so like you don't want to play bad, and then like you stuck in the situation you in. You play really well, so that like a team is like, shit, I'm willing to give up more to go get that guy. Like we gotta have him. He can help our team. The way the Pelicans played today, like a 1990s game today against the Nets, dog, they were just bad. No energy lacked. Like they did not look. Again, to me, it looked like they came into the game and was just like they disrespected the Nets and didn't think that team was gonna show up. They looked at the Nets record and was like, man, them dudes 5-17, and they forgot to look at their record and that they were 3-20, and that you worse than them, right? I think they came into that game disrespectful of what happened and they got a belt put to them. Just that simple. Trey just don't have no dog, too passive aggressive, beating friends with dudes. I don't want to say Trey don't have no dog, but I at the same time though, like he not physically imposing or nothing like that. Like he just, you know, I don't know. We need a Dylan Brooks. You need a Dylan Brooks, but Dylan Brooks probably couldn't exist on this type of team, though. Like this team too soft for a player like Dylan Brooks. He's been flashed out. I think the bench got talent. Maybe. Whoa, what's good, bro? Trey, a damn good 6-man. Again, I gotta go. Shout out to Ivory. I gotta go to the Ivory Clark method of is your player good enough? Is your player good enough to start or play on OKC team? Like, what would your player be? Like, where would that player be in the rotation for OKC? Like, if OKC had Trey, like, would he start? Probably not. You're not good defensively, right? Like, you can shoot, but it's not like you create enough or you shoot. Like, they got players that can shoot. Damn near as good as Trey. So, like, what would Trey be on OKC? Like, he would be really good. Don't get me wrong. He probably look amazing because they team look amazing. But it's just kind of like, I think most of these players like look like they kind of are what they are, I guess. Like Brandon, and I don't want to keep bringing up BI, but like a lot of people with BI in Toronto is just like, oh, look how much better BI looked that he's in Toronto. And again, talked about it yesterday. If you watch the games, BI game is exactly the same. You just surrounded by better players, so it look a little different. Like Trey's game is gonna be what it is. Will it damage this team? Absolutely think so. Absolutely. Check this out. Trey haven't dunked on anybody all year. Lost the water weight real dude. So like and that's another thing. Like he's been getting dunks, right? Like in transition, back up. But I'm talking about to the rack flush. And I said the same thing about Z. And that's why I'm like, oh yeah, Z must really be hurt because in the first couple games, Z was like the first 2 games, like Z dunked on Wemby game, like play one, you know what I'm saying? And then like you can tell that Z wasn't the same after the first couple games. Like Z was damn near 29, 10-8, 10-6 with 4 steals, was leading the league in steals at one point, right? Came back, just wasn't the same. The rest of the team is not the same. I'm interested to see the energy and enthusiasm when Jordan Poole get back, if that makes any difference at all. Because JP got the kind of skill where like, dog, you done seen him on the Washington team go win them some games against teams and like they didn't have the talent that this team supposedly has. So I'm just interested to see what they look like when you start getting some of the players back. The Willie Green thing still lingering. Trey and Zion got that stench on them. They gotta go. But listen, bro. You gotta preserve the rookies. And to be honest, if you were if you were playing through them and losing these games, right? If you were playing through them and losing these games, but they were like getting 30 to 35 minutes a game and just figuring out how to play, and they are figuring out how to play, don't get me wrong, and stuff like that. But like figuring out how teams are going to defend them, figuring out how to defend, how to use the players around them and stuff. Like you need like just get them somebody, like get them the players that's going to be around them so they can learn how they have to win games. That's the thing. Like I want Queen and Fierce to figure out how they have to win games, putting the ball in Queen and Fierce's hands at the end of the game, not Jose. Respectfully, because if this team healthy and you like trying to win, Jose not gonna be playing for you in the fourth quarter, or at least he shouldn't. Though right now that's a pretty easy Austin Reeves. But the thing with Austin, and I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, was like, dog, Austin ISO, like they score in two different ways, but like Austin could go get you 40, 50, right? Trey could get you 30, but he need help to get his 30. Right? Like Austin just could go get it. That's the difference between the two, in my opinion. Z lost weight doesn't mean he was in shape. I guess that's true. I guess that's true. Sometimes you lose so much, you do so much to lose the weight, you still ain't really just getting stronger. And like to be honest, dog, people don't want to hit us, but like when Z fat, Z be hooping. All that weight he be throwing around them, dudes don't want no parts of that. So like being smaller probably was more of a detriment to his game. Like, yeah, you could do more, you can survive, like, but Z got to find a balance within his within his shape, within himself. But like fat Z be balling. It's just what it is. Like Z was fat out here shooting 60% at the rim. Hey, that's just what it is. We need a coach and player that will get mad and angry when they play. And I need them to flash out at each other. That's one of the things that I haven't seen yet either. Like you have those moments where like coaches hold you accountable and whatnot. Like you see a coach like get on to a player, but you also see players getting on the players. Like Ant used to look at Cat all the time. Like he'd be looking at every player on this team. Like, dog, what you doing? What you doing? Like you need a player like that. Like somebody that's kind of gonna be like, hey, what the like guard your man. You get what I'm saying? Like they need a lot of that. Would you rather have Wolf and our 26 pick or Queen? Give me Queen still. Give me Queen still, because I personally thought Queen was one of the top 5 players in this draft, in my opinion. Like offensively, at least, like was one of the better offensive players in this draft, and it's proven out to be that. He got some other stuff that he needed to work on for sure, but I was of the mindset, I ain't gonna lie, I was of the mindset you could have went got like when they had the pick for Peavy. What's that boy? I would have took Mac instead of taking Peavy. I would have took Maxine Renault. I would have took Maxine when he was there, like the 7-foot rangy dude or whatever. So like I would have had to go get a version of Danny Wolf. But that's just me. Where we at? Out of Trey, Herb, and Zion, who do you think would be traded first? Probably Herb. I think Zion is a more difficult trade to make. I don't think they're gonna move Trey. I think Herb is the easier of the three to move. I like Wolf game too. Playing the house. Yep. I would love Tibbs. Dog, see this shit that them dudes got going on? Tibbs ain't having none of that. You need a coach like that. You need somebody like that. y'all stupid, though. Big Z was. I'm telling you, bro. Fat Z was out there dogging on people, getting down the court. You couldn't move him. Like defensively, he wasn't moving his feet, but he was blocking shit. Like, sometimes you just need to be who you are. They be flashing out on Fizz. Who be flashing out on Fizz? Man, they better stop it. Like, dog. No, I seen Z flashing out on the rookies. Dog, listen, that shit whack though. That shit whack because the rookies not the ones you need to be holding accountable. They not the rookies not the ones you need to be holding accountable. It's Herb and Trey. Like Herb, Trey, like that's who, like those are your running mates, right? So before I hold my rookies accountable, I need to let Herb know, like, dog, why is you shooting the ball and like why is you shooting and you was 0 for in that San Antonio game, dog. You 0 for 8. You 0 for 8. Why is you still shooting the ball at the end of the game? In the Memphis game 1, bro, why is you not kicking the ball to Trey? Like, the main players need to know their role. Jose need to know his role. Like, that's who you need to be on, not the rookies. The rookies fall in line when everybody else fall in line. The hierarchy of the other shit is the problem. Like, that's the stuff that you got to sort out. Not the young players. Borrego coaching scared. I don't know what he doing. But I think he blowing his opportunity. A Wolf in the first round pick would have been a better option. Maybe if you look at, you know, if you knew you was gonna be 3-21, yeah. If you knew you was gonna be 3-21, yeah. And I wanted Danny Wolf. I didn't mind standing back and taking Danny Wolf with what pick were we? 23. I don't mind like taking Danny. They had a lot of players in that part of the draft. I thought that they could have took, but again, it don't matter at this point. Like, the move is made, the deal is done. You have what you have, and you just got to move forward. But this ain't on Derek Queen. Derek Queen has like done more than enough. The fact that first round pick gonna be a valuable first round pick is on Zion, Trey, Herb, Willie Green, is on those dudes. This ain't on the rookies, right? Zion not performing, Trey not performing, Herb not performing. They had plenty of games where them dudes had opportunities to win games and they weren't. Most the games that they have won has been because of what? The rookies. Like, you don't have your 3 wins if it's not for the rookies. So it's kind of like I can't really fault them. They doing more than enough. Your vets are not being vets. That's really the problem. Z got less aggressive with the weight loss. Say, dog, go back to being fat. Go back to being fat. Jay was at the game. Z ran the screen for Fizz, but when it was Fizz's turn, he ignored him. Dog, them dudes, they have so many, like, over the last couple of seasons, they do so much little passive aggressive shit. Like, in the big, like, if you go back and watch like the early games this season, them dudes was looking each other off. And that's some stuff you get from CJ. You know what I mean? Like, CJ used to do that shit all the time. Like, I'm not passing you the rock on the break, stuff like that. Like, they just play. I don't know if selfish is the word necessarily, but like, again, I just personally think that they like, it's too much ego on the team. And you're not good enough to have that kind of ego. Like, Shea got ego, but Shea an MVP and average of 30. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get 30. Like, I don't care who out there, I'm getting 30. Like, the only person close to that is Zion, to be honest. Right? Zion really the only one from a like talent and production standpoint that could say anything. The rest of them don't, like, y'all don't have no kind of clout to be able to act like that. What you doing? Not like, what is Herb doing? Like, why would Herb ever not pass the ball to Trey? Why would Jose ever not pass the ball to Trey Murphy? Think about it. Draymond Green, that is Steph, don't get me wrong, but Draymond Green still passing the ball. What is Jose Alvarado doing not passing the ball to Trey Murphy? Like, every time. Come on, dog. JB took Queen out soon as he threw that alley-oop in the stands. Queen had the ball more. Dog, like, JB been making some questionable moves. I'm watching it like, dog, you not really using this man most effective, in my opinion, and he is your way to win. If you're trying to win, you got to play through him. So I don't understand. It's crazy, but we could use Chris Paul, especially since Jordan and him friend. Dog, Fears needs a Chris Paul. This team needs a Chris Paul. Like, the team needs somebody that's going to be like, what type of shit y'all got going on in here? What you mean y'all ain't practicing? This man open on the pick and why you switching the pick and roll? like that. This team, though, like DeAndre Jordan, I think is doing a really good job. Right, like everybody see the value of DeAndre Jordan right now. Get like if you can get Chris Paul in here. Not saying that Chris Paul gonna want to come to this shit show again. It's 3-21. Maybe he's still trying to, compete or something like that. But I would hope that he would be willing to come here and coach help guide the young dude as opposed to just end his career like out the league that way. So we'll see. Undisciplined, low IQ, undisciplined, all of that. All of that. We need a coach that'll hold him accountable. He needs to make a rule that if you play around, you're in trouble, punish, suspension, you're not doing it. Dog, I always look at like those moments where like and I don't like just holding the rookies accountable, right? Because you've seen him reset the rookies. They get a little too out of hand and be like, come sit down for a second and put them back in the game. Though, like when Trey not being aggressive, or when Jose not passing the ball, or like when Z not downhill or whatever, like dog, you are never too far along in the league to not be coached. And especially this team, you ain't accomplished nothing. Ain't none of these dudes champions walking around here. Ain't no Steph Curry's on it. Ain't no LeBron on this team, right? Ain't nobody of that stature. Like every last one of y'all could be told something, and you need a coach that's gonna be like, y'all have accomplished nothing. Like you have done nothing. Like there are no really think about it. Like Herb, Z a 2-time All-Star, and Herb got the first team all defense. But other than that, like y'all ain't never not been a playing team. You haven't won a series. You haven't made All-Stars. You haven't won like 6th man of the year. It's just a whole bunch of y'all haven't really accomplished much of anything. So for anybody to just be walking around like big shit is really unreasonable. And I'm not saying it just to be like critical of the team, because I do think they can be good, bro. Again, I picked this team to win 49 games, though. I thought they were gonna be like a fight for a top 6 seed. I thought they were gonna fight for a top 6 seed. They do not look like what I thought they would look like. Like the level of aggression like again, and it started with them not getting off of Willie Green, and like you could just see like the level of frustration and defeat just wearing them down. But now at this point, it's looking like a talent issue. And they already were they already were limited from a talent perspective. But when you're limited talent, like from a talent perspective, and playing bad on top of that, like you just had no room. You just had no room for like the mistakes and shit like that they were making. And like at this point, I think it became low IQ, like an ego and stuff like that. Like there's no way, though, that like you come into the game against the Nets and get smoked by the Nets unless you didn't already. A team that then gave up before can give up again, right? So like they gave up on Willie Green, right, and started getting blown out and just defeated or whatever. And they like if they showed they could give up on him, then they'll show JB they'll give up on him too. That just means it's in them, and that's when you just got to get rid of people. I really feel like that's still left over from the Willie Green culture. Yeah. I mean, it looked like it. At least CP can build on his assist total. Man, CP could get some burn. I'm taking CP over Jose right now. I just think a lot like he can also help teach these dudes how to close some of these damn games. Teach this team how to finish. Right? They need all of that. We the happiest losers I ever seen. Nets were smiling like they won the NBA Cup. No, listen. Like they dominated us. They dominated our team. Like again, they're not good. They were 5-17 coming into this game and had lost. Like they had won a couple games lately. But they by no stretch are a good team. But they came out, game plan was there. They looked again, they just looked better, right? Like you couldn't do nothing offensively, you couldn't do nothing on the defense. You came out lax, you didn't make no adjustments, and they beat the piss out you. That's just what it is. So that's just kind of how I go. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate everybody that tapped in, man. Hit the like button. Good show on for CB3. Why did they get D Jordan? They never played. I think they brought him in. I think they brought him in for mentorship. Willie Green, stupid ass, thought he was actually out there to play, and he played him. And then when DeAndre Jordan signed that, he was like, "Yeah, bro, you know, I'm here to mentor the guys. I'm here to, you know, I'm here to pass down my wisdom and stuff like that. And when my number is called, which his number should never be called, his number should never be called. Meanwhile, Willie Green's starting to do. He doing exactly what he should do, mentoring the young people, mentoring the young dude. That's what he should be doing. And he doing a good job. Bro, sometimes it's not a coaching problem. It might be a player problem the way they're still playing, even Willie Green gone. That's why they gotta go. They bro, like at some point, you know what it's like, or at least how I view it. If you've been at a job that like you kind of got comfortable at the job, but you know it's not a good job, you know what I'm saying? Like you hate to go to work. Like, even if you love what you're doing, you hate to go to work. That's probably what it is for them dudes. It's just like, oh, dog, at some point, like, yeah, I'm a player and stuff like that. But like them, that's why they leave, and it just like everybody seems like they flourish when they leave. It's probably like a fresh start, like a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? Like them, get their asses up out of here. Joe Dumars said it. Like, hey, if you won't be somewhere else, we'll get you out of here. We'll get you where you want to go. I absolutely believe that's a thing. Ain't nobody come out and request a trade yet. That's how you know they nice guys too. Because if you was on this team, would you request a trade? I probably would. Like if I'm Trey, no. Like I'm unhappy. I'm trying to come into my own, like make a name for myself in the league. We 3-21. This ain't like I'm probably putting word in. Like, listen, I don't know if y'all shopping me or not, but I kind of want to get out of here. You like sometimes you gotta save yourself. I wouldn't blame him. Like if I'm Zion, dog, all this shit that's going on, and Zion don't have a leg to stand on. Don't get me wrong. Zion don't have a leg to stand on. But like, why would you want to be here? I'm gonna just be honest. Like, why would you want to be here? And again, he may not have the credibility to say that. But again, man, when this dude was drafted number 1 overall, like one of the most iconic picks that you can get, a generational talent. We got David Griffin talking about is not his team. Come on, man. That shit's stupid. I'm not bet. Give me come on, dog. Let's go. All of that makes a difference to me. Like they can't be happy in the building. CB3 just as well come back. I don't think the Clippers hanging up the CB3 jersey in the Raptors. Dog, that'll be cold blood. To be honest, like, Chris my favorite player. Chris like maybe my AI my all-time favorite player, but Chris like my top 3 favorite players. Chris, AI, and Dirt, dog. That's something like my 3 favorite players of all time. But Chris ain't accomplished nothing with the Clippers. Like he just took them from being a shit show, but they ain't do nothing. But they got out the first round like twice. You know what I'm saying? You ain't go to the Western Conference Finals. You ain't go to no finals. You ain't win no MVPs. Like you were great while you were there, but like y'all ain't do nothing. So if they don't retire his jersey, I get it. Like it's unfortunate, but I get it. It would be you could have the legacy. You could have had the legacy here, but you know, CP3 a little high maintenance, man. CP3 a little high maintenance. Started DJ first game of the season. Shit crazy. Crazy. I would want out of the team if I'm not winning no game. Dog, you got to. You can't. And again, if you are a quality player, it's like when for example, when PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford were in, where were they at? They were in Charlotte and Washington, right? They were in Charlotte and Washington when Dallas traded for them. Them dudes went from two of the worst teams in the league to playing in the finals. You don't think PJ Washington was happy to get out of Dallas and go play with Luka? Oh, thank God. You don't think Daniel Gafford was like, oh, I'm on the worst team in the league. Now I'm playing deep into the playoffs, playing my same game, but like, you know what I mean? Just being more impactful, playing with like better players. Absolutely. Like I'm axing out. I'm definitely axing out if I'm Trey. So that's just said, bro. This team need to go through a rebuild. And once they decide to go through a rebuild, you don't like if Trey don't act like why would Trey sit for a rebuild? You know what I mean? So that's the next conversation you're gonna have to start having is okay, what is the line now of okay, we leaning into our rookies. If you lean into our rookies, now I gotta have a conversation with Trey. Like, are you on board with us going through another rebuild? Sometimes take long. Them bitches could be 3 to 5 to like the Pistons been rebuilding for damn near a decade. So I mean, it's just something that you gotta consider. Something you gotta consider. That is the mentality. They go in expecting to lose and do. I honestly don't think they go in expecting to lose. I think they don't. I think they go in expecting to win, but I think they go in like kind of lax as if winning is easy. I think they're better than what they actually are, right? I don't think this team has been humbled enough. I don't think the players are humbled enough. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't see the a team that knows is capable of getting blown out, right? You just don't not play hard. You know what I mean? Like the attention to detail sometimes. Like you gotta be again, the room for error, the margins are small. You gotta lock in when you're not a good team, right? Like you gotta be more patient. You gotta take every step serious to win. So like they don't seem desperate enough. Like they okay with losing. They're not like okay with losing, but they like it is like they defeated. They look defeated, in my opinion. And the James Borrego move ain't done what they thought it was gonna do. And again, it's taking time. You do need players back and stuff like that, but it's just Fizz brother dog. Yeah, Jeremy Fizz be getting to it. I think he's gonna be solid. I don't know how he projects on the next level because him and Fizz is a little different, right? Like Fizz is just the electric speed, handle, scoring, stuff like that. But Jeremy Fizz not bad either. He looked like a really good point guard. Bro, the Pelicans have the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. Players play like Superman and have their game of their life. Every time, every star player get off on our team. I just don't understand. Like I know they scout and stuff like that, and like again, even with like Ant, you was holding them in the first half, you denying them. It just take. I don't know. The adjustments is the part that be killing me. Like if you see something ain't working, all right, this shit ain't working. We see this in the first quarter. MPJ was rolling since the first quarter. Second quarter, he really got it going. When you start seeing them bitches rainbow down, boom, like just bombing us. Okay, we gonna keep switching the screen. We gonna keep not helping, not hedging, not jumping out at him, not staying attached to him. I don't know, dog. It's just a recipe for losing. If we didn't have Jordan out, our oldest player would be 29. We need more OGs. I don't know, dog. You just need the right kind of players. The entire OKC team is young, and that's by far the best team in the league. You know what I mean? So you don't necessarily need OGs. You just need good players. That's what you need. You need good players. People we ain't never heard of be killing us. Dog, Moses Moody went for 30 plus. You know what I mean? What's your boy name for Denver, man? Was it Peyton Watson? I can't remember. Was it Peyton Watson? hit us for 30 something. Man hit 5 threes all season, came out and got 30 against us. That's the type of shit that we known for. But you know, that's kind of what it is. But man, I appreciate y'all. I just came, you know, put this episode out this Saturday night. I said yesterday that we was gonna do the episode regardless of what happened with the game. That's what it boils down to, bro. You need dogs, but you need the no. I'm not doing Dalton Connect for her. If I need Dalton Connect, I need some picks or something like that. Like we need more than Dalton Connect. Dalton Connect ain't the type of player that I'm looking for. Nah, I'm out on that one. But we need I want Ace. You know what I mean? I want Khalil Ware. Somebody I want somebody, dog. I want the player that look like, and again, like Ant is like a one-on-one, don't get me wrong, but like don't put like how you see how VJ out there trying to dunk on shit. Dog, like I want VJ. Somebody like that. I wouldn't mind Ivy, but you know, I'm concerned with the knee injuries. But I'll tell you what, when we going through this rebuild and stuff like that, like what you got to lose bringing them in? Cam Thomas, I'm bringing them in. What you got to lose, right? Bring those people in. Man, appreciate y'all, man. Hit the like button, though. Appreciate everybody for joining in. You know what I mean? Tapping in your on this Saturday night. If y'all look again, if y'all going out, y'all be safe. It's cold out there. The weather kind of iffy, but if y'all staying home, y'all be safe, man. Bundle up, find you a good movie or something like that. You know, hang out with your lady, hang out with your dude. You hear me? Have yourselves a good night. So that's pretty much gonna do it for me, man. I made Davis, Pels in a blender. I'm out. Oh, I got one more comment. Where we at? Team do not take the Pelicans serious. They take us as a joke. Saying I was playing the Pelicans, whose defense the worst in the NBA. I'm going for 50. I know if I'm playing them, like when I used to hoop back in the day, like you know what it was like if you played a bad team, but like, oh yeah, we all getting off tonight. It's gonna be a great night, and that's what they are. That's what they are. So, but again, you got to change that on your own. Can't nobody change your fate but you. And in sports, ain't nobody just letting you win. Right? You got to impose your will, and you need people out there that's gonna do that. That's top down. Coaching staff, medical staff, somebody got to go, like, just go be great. Right? And we'll see. They haven't shown the evidence that they'll be able to do it. But again, maybe who knows, man. As of right now, who knows? Next game is Monday. Next game is Monday against the Spurs in the blender. Yeah, I think I may or may not make that one. I don't know. If not, we might have an episode or not. But until then, man, y'all be safe. Take care of yourselves. Pals in the blender. A Davis. I'm out. Peace.